Hello and welcome to Shenington Park, where we are here for the first round of the Club 100 E60 Championship. Karting is back. Sorry about the wait. Bruno Chicane. Bruno Senna's been here. So yeah, as I said, welcome to Shenington Park. This is a track in Oxfordshire. It's a lovely place, as you can see. Very grassy, picturesque almost. Not quite as picturesque as GYG, but there we go. Obviously in Oxfordshire, so we're in basically the heart of England, in the Midlands, which if you're from the southeast like I am, is basically the north. If you're from Manchester, it's basically the south. And if you're from the Midlands, you hate everyone from the south and the north, because they basically say it's either south or north. So there we go. But yeah, just sort of taking it all in, readjusting myself, so to speak. Yeah, it's gonna be great. We've got the briefing in about, I don't know what the time is. GoPro's not telling me, don't know why I'm looking at that. But yeah, got the briefing at about 9 o'clock. And then, yeah, got to get myself on the scales, find out how much I weigh. That's going to be interesting. But yeah, all good, all good. But it's, as you can tell as well, it is a lovely day. I've been up since 5:30 to get here, and the drive down was fantastic. The sun's out, it's shining, everyone's here, everyone's happy. It's going to be a fantastic, fantastic day. I'm just so happy karting is back. Couldn't be happier, because I've missed it. I've missed it so much. That's embarrassing. I've also just discovered that Andrew Mather of Double Dash Motorsport Media is here, and I obviously commentate with him. So actually I'd like to beat him instead. That probably won't happen, because this is like his local track. I'll go this way. This is like his local track, and he's quite good. So he'll beat me quite unreservedly, but we can still try. Never hurt to try. It's almost briefing time, so this will probably be where this element of the video ends, and hopefully the next shot should be in a go-kart ready to go out for practice. Hello everyone, and welcome to a go-kart that is ready to go out for practice. Got the engine all fired up and ready to start this first session in over 4 months. We're going into a practice and qualifying session. The first 10 minutes are practice, and then the final 5 are qualifying. This is a track that I have not been to before, and obviously I need to use practice to just get acquainted with the track, readjust to the karts. It has been a while, so I'm just looking to have a nice 10-minute session where nothing really goes wrong, and I can get myself nice and ready for qualifying. How hard could that be? Yeah, it would appear that in the time off I have completely forgotten how to use the brake pedal. Not the best preparation then for the start of qualifying, which as you can see there by the lights turning green has now just happened, although I've got this chap in the yellow helmet in front of me. That is obviously not how I wanted to start this qualifying session, get past him there, but then a few laps later I'm then overtaken myself by Mr. Fuller, a chap that, based on his beautifully pink helmet, I assume is quite good. So I'm going to follow him now and try and pick up on his lines, try and see if I can use him to my own advantage. And it was going so well until I got to the Bruno Chicane, completely ballsed it up, and I don't know if you can pick it up on the camera, but even Mr. Fuller is shaking his head at me there. In the end though, I would set a 53.4 and qualify in 28th place, so towards the back of the grid. So I've got some forward motion to do during the race. Obviously this is a new track, so I'm hoping to get much better, but we're on the rolling up lap now, getting ready to start this 60-minute race around Shenington for the return of Club 100. Let's see how we get on at the start.
yeah, really unfortunate what happened there. It was just a case of wrong place, wrong time. Obviously, if it had worked out, it would have been absolutely amazing. It would have probably gained a good number of positions and would have achieved driving god status, but sadly that wasn't to be. But at the end of the day, that is racing. I should also point out that one of the guys in the red and white helmet I was trying to go down the inside of, that effectively led to me getting punted out, was me trying to overtake Andrew Mather of Double Dash Motorsport Media. Obviously it didn't work out, and that is the only bit of DDMM versus Rich T Racing footage that exists. But we move on to the hairpin, where you can see this man in the white helmet having a go down the inside of the man in the orange helmet. I've tried to do it as well. I've tried to follow him through, but I've given the man in the white helmet a bit of a bump, which is obviously very much below the belt. But what is definitely not below the belt is letting him back through, so I didn't get a penalty for that. But as we come back into the Bruno Senna chicane, he's tried to go down the inside of Bowser. Didn't quite expect to be saying that in a Club 100 karting video, but I've been able to go down the inside of the man in the white helmet, and now I'm going to try and go down the inside into the right-hander of Bowser, and I get the move done. But he's tried the underhand tactic with the blue shell, but fortunately he missed, so I'm able to move on. Now, the next 10 minutes or so, basically I was behind this pack and I didn't really gain on them. Obviously I'm now gaining on them now, but for the majority of the time I wasn't gaining on them, but I also wasn't losing time. So I started to think about my strategy. How am I going to perform the pit stop? Should explain as well that in these races you have to do one pit stop. The window opens at 15 minutes and shuts at 45. And given the fact that all of these guys are fighting with each other, they are inevitably going to be taking time off of each other. So I thought to myself, you know what, as soon as that pit window opens, I'm coming in, because I can give myself some nice clean air and let them take time off each other, and by the time they pit, I should hopefully be in front of them. So that was the thinking. I was given a helping hand as well by that man having himself a little spin at the final corner. And now, just before we do make this pit stop, we're going to have a little bit of a battle with this man in the, I have to say, beautiful orange and black helmet. He's got his exit wrong through the Bruno Senna chicane, and I'm able to enact operation down the inside at the fast right-hander, heading into the final corner. So that is 2 positions gained just before the pit stops, and I'm pretty sure we're about to gain another position here, because it looks like, so just around the Bruno Senna chicane, yes, Bowser has left a banana peel for that man in the white helmet, who definitely didn't repass me after I passed him, but now I am back past the man in the white helmet, and we would not see him again, obviously, because he had been yeeted into oblivion. As we now come in to make the pit stop, hopefully this is where the strategy works out and I'm able to gain an awful lot of positions. I should explain that there is no refueling at pit stops. It is just simply to lube up the chain. If the chain is not lubed up, then the engine will explode with the force of 100 megatons and cause nuclear winter in the heart of England. So very good job that you come in to lube up the chain. So now this is my opportunity to go out setting some fantastic lap times and get in front of the pack that I was chasing. And you might have just seen there, well, obviously you can see there that I've been overtaken by a man in a beautiful Union Jack helmet. That's actually Max O'Shaughnessy from the BUKC. He was leading this race, and this is exactly what I needed, because I was able to get up behind the race leader and follow his lines and try and be as fast as I possibly could be. And I have to say, it really worked out, paid absolute dividends. I found my rhythm, found my groove, and was finally feeling at one with the kart and the track. Also came across a back marker of my own, has to be said, but that guy getting out the way, getting out the throttle on the straight, fantastic back marker driving from that man in the yellow helmet. Also get a big helping hand from this man in the green and black and white helmet, who I think was in second place. And as we can see, many minutes later, the pit strategy has worked, because there you can see the man in exactly the same helmet as me has just come out in front of me. He was quite far in front of the pack that I was chasing, so quite clearly the strategy has worked, pitting early to try and get in front of the guys who are fighting. So now we're going to come into this section of the video that I'm calling the Battle of the Green Belt. I wanted to call this video that name, but James Derrick told me if you call this video that name, then no, you just can't do that. But yeah, as you just saw there, I've tried to have a little look down the inside of the fast right-hander, but it didn't quite work out. So whilst I get right up his arse into the final corner, he's actually got a little bit of a good exit on me coming out of the final corner. So has my opportunity come and gone? It doesn't look like it, because I'm gaining on him now coming into the first corner. Fantastic little corner, this one. Well, I say little corner, it's absolutely massive, but yeah, really enjoy that corner. Best corner on the track by far. We're too far back to attempt a lunge, although I say that just as we come into braking, so just see how much I've gained on him. That just shows that either I'm really good on the brakes versus him, or that the slipstream at Shenington is actually a thing, because most kart tracks don't have straights that are long enough to be able to get a slipstream effect, but it looked like there was one there. There's no way I'd be that much better on the brakes than this man, but we are now properly up his arse heading into the right hander, but I've decided not to try and send it because you know what, I thought I'll bide my time because I'll lose time on the exit of the corner. But as we can see here, it's not quite worked out because we're now coming up to another back marker. It's the man in the orange equivalent of our green helmet, so 3 helmets going into one corner. Who would have thought that? But as you saw there, the man in the green helmet, he got his move done on the straight, and I had to do it in the corner, so I have inevitably lost a bit of time in this battle of the green Belge as we head into the hairpin. Just saw a little bit of a lock-up from him there, but he's got the apex well and got a good exit out of the corner, so that would bring the battle to a temporary halt as he just gets a little bit of a run on me. But as we cut many minutes later, you can see now that he's just had another lockup, and this time he has not made the apex of the corner. I have, and I've now got a very good exit on him, coming now into the Bruno Senna chicane. I know it's just called Bruno chicane, but I'm calling it the Bruno Senna chicane because why not? And you can also see there he's also not got a very good exit through the Bruno Senna chicane, and this is now surely going to give me an opportunity heading into the right-hander. Operation down the inside into the right-hander has worked out, and that brings the battle of the green Belge to a close, and it is me who comes out on top. The next sort of 20 minutes or so of this race would be filled with me just trying to catch up to these two guys in the white helmets, and as we cut a little bit further forward now, you can see that I am right on the back of this man in the white helmet with the neck protection as well. Good to keep your neck protected, ladies and gentlemen. But once again, not the best exit from him through the Bruno Senna chicane, and now I'm not going to be able to send it down the inside into the right-hander, but am I going to send it late down into the final corner? Yes, I am, but I've possibly left it just a little bit too late. My exit was massively compromised, and it's going to be a fairly slam dunk move that the man with the neck protection is just going to get back past me. You know what, I'm probably not even going to fight it. Wait for it. There he goes. So he's back in front of me now, but this is where I am going to be able to gain on him. This is where I've been much better than most of the people I've been racing throughout this race. Am I going to consider absolutely sending it down the inside into the hairpin? I have a little think about it, but you can see I'm good on the brakes, but decided better against it. But anyway, now heading into the Bruno Senna chicane, if we're looking for him to not get the best exit, he's been a little bit wide there through the entry, but he's got his exit spot on. So, but it has to be said, I've got a slightly better exit than him. Am I going to be able to send it into right-hander? No. Am I going to consider sending it into the final corner? Of course I considered it, but I decided this time to take a much wider line. But this would actually compromise me massively, because as it turned out, there they go, 2 front runners were also coming down the inside, so they got past me. I had to go to the grass a little bit, and as you can see, I've lost out on a huge amount of time to the man in the neck protection. But a few laps later, I am back on his arse. You can see there that the other man in the white helmet is also just been overtaken, so there's still chance for 2 overtakes coming up during this race. So now heading through the Bruno Senna chicane, definitely got a much better exit than him there, so much so that you can't even see his head anymore. So here we go then, heading into the right-hander. Am I going to have a look into the final corner? No, I've thought better of it, and I'm just going to follow him through because I know that I am better later on in the lap, I should say, coming in through the first and second corner and then into the hairpin. The hairpin is where I'm looking at, so obviously you can see there he has got a little bit of a run on me through coming into the first corner, but there coming into the second part of the corner, I've just got a much better exit than him, really closing in on him now, taking a few lines, the slipstream effect into effect. Am I going to send it? Oh, I'm going to send it.
Did I send it, or didn't send it? Send it!
So that's one man in a white helmet sent upon. Let's now try and send it on the next man in the white helmet, and as you can see with the power of editing, just lap by lap, minute by minute, I'm gaining and gaining on him, and I would love to be able to bring you a battle similar to that of the Battle of the Green Belge and Battle of the Man with the Neck Brace, but for some reason this guy thinks I'm lapping him and he just lets me go through. So here's a Rich T top tip for karting: don't yield unnecessarily during an endurance race, because if someone is lapping you, they will just overtake you and shoot off. They will be able to easily do it. There is no need for you to yield. because if you do yield, it could be that you were that guy was actually racing you for position, as has just been proven there, as I was able to overtake that guy for position. So yeah, just don't yield unnecessarily because you could lose out on a position. That unfortunately is the end of the action for this race. I would spend the next 10 minutes trying to set as good a lap time as I possibly could, and to be fair, I actually was able to do that. I set a 52.4, which is obviously a second faster than what I managed in qualifying, and was also very much on the pace with the guys who finished in 20th to 10th. So if I hadn't been involved in that massive pile-up at the start of the race, who knows where I would have finished. In the end though, I would finish in P24, so even with that big pile-up at the start of the race, I gained 4 positions on when I started, and I will absolutely take that. A really enjoyable race. I've missed endurance racing, haven't done it for a long time, and yeah, just to feel the rhythm come in, having started the day not knowing what I was doing, to halfway through the race being absolutely on it. Fantastic feeling. To have got the strategy right as well, to have gained all those positions through the pit stops, brilliant. Really enjoyable return to racing, and it's just so fantastic to have racing back in the world. The next round I'm going to be doing is at Buckmore Park, so I'm missing out Clay Pigeon because it's just way too far away from me. So I'll be on home soil, so hopefully going to have a much more competitive race than what we've seen today. Hopefully going to be right up in the thick of it in the midfield, so cannot wait for that. That is now officially the end of the video. This has been a Rich T Racing production. Thank you so much for watching, if you still are, and if you are, why not subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications, all that good stuff. And the final thing that I shall say to you for now is ta-ta and farewell.